Welcome back, everybody, to the Salty Show, and welcome back to our Total War Rome 2 Empire Divided campaign as the mighty Palmyra, episode 5. Leading the front lines as Queen Zenobia marches into Asia Minor. Hope you guys are doing well today, and if you are, like and subscribe as always. Without further ado, in the last episode, we had a bit of a calm before the storm episode, and dealt with a lot of increasing our public order, stabilizing the realm, and preparing for the storm that is to come in reference to our political power going from protected to unprotected and dealing with our horrible families, such as the Latin family. The Greek families aren't horrible. They're still going to cause issues thanks to us being on Legendary. That minus 25 difficulty level is going to be tough to deal with. And the Latin families, honestly, when we lose our power buff, they might immediately rebel, which their only general is down here in Memphis, and I'm thinking about disbanding him if I don't think the situation is controllable, as we really don't need a rival general if he rebels roaming around in one of our wealthiest provinces that is also the breadbasket of the empire. In other news, the Sassanids are the biggest threat. The Sassanids and Armenia to our north. Rome, who I thought was going to be the biggest issue, Rome and Lydia, not so much right now. It's more about dealing with the eastern powers, which thankfully our friends, the Lochmids, I believe that's who they were, before they perished, held them back. And now that task has fallen to the Nabatean people, as they're putting up a decent fight, securing Adamuntu from the Sassanids along with Adashir down here. Now, do I think they can hold these long term? Not at all. However, the more pressure they keep off of us, the better. But without further ado, we're gonna move our spy up to Sahatra, as yes, I wanted to see what they were stationing here. They have a full stack. I'm not worried about a lot of these units, as I mean, their morale's okay, but they'll break. Against a solid 10 stack with a garrison, I think will be fine. We need to check on these as well. So they do have quite a few generals roaming about. Meanwhile, our second spy up here, I want to take a gander first at this Armenian force. Yeah, the Armenians are more renowned for their skirmishers and their lightweight troops. And now I want to see what are they rolling? A lot of Roman levies, 3. Even the Roman levies are good units, so I shouldn't say bad units. They're going to be hard to deal with. Now against a full Palmyran legionary, pikemen, cav, all that stuff, I don't think they'll hold up too well. But that is where we're going to begin today's episode, with destroying Galatia. We don't need a Roman faction that is friendly to Armenia and the Sassanids on our doorstep.
Greetings in the name of...
So, with that... Yikes. I mean, Gallic Rome isn't going to like us. Cultural aversion is never going to be a good thing. Very, very, very few people like us. Even our client state is only sitting at a 60. And Oxum doesn't like us at all. So we're going to have to watch out for all of these situations.
Greetings, friend.
I'm tempted to...
Come, my friend. Speak.
Put our weight behind Nabatea and help them, but that does throw us into quite a large war. One that I don't think we're ready for.
Come then.
So with that, let's see if we can get...
You are welcome. But that welcome can become a farewell if you waste Roman time.
You really don't like us. They won't even...
The Senate would all... Welcome.
I will be honest, I have been... It's been a minute since I've played this.
Time to waste.
And I have truly been scared to play it. I have... It's not been... this is a heavy achievement. I know we're getting up to the point where it might be a bit troublesome.
Welcome.
Where we're gonna...
scant pleasantries.
Every episode we play...
Time to waste.
Every episode we play, it's an episode that we could lose.
Senators are
Okay, so they don't want to join our. They don't want us to join their wars, which is just hilarious to think that they're so
Speak
against
if you
taking
must.
help,
But know that Roman ears have.
which is fine.
I am listening.
All right, so it says this is not a good fight for us. But their garrison's not scary. They don't have any cav. I'm thinking let them attack us because they're gonna suffer attrition just like we are.
For honor and glory.
So we will keep that going. We really do need, though, even in our lack of an economy, we need to be building up another legion. There's no way around it anymore, and we need to be doing it kind of swiftly. And I'd rather do it with one of our real generals, which I'm just now realizing is kind of impossible. Well, it's not impossible to do, but it's definitely not too beneficial. You're a bit lax. You're also a procrastinator, but you're pretty friendly. So we'll give to him. Hey, you guys aren't costing us any expense. Let's move. I do apologize. I think you might be able to hear Veni whining as he wants attention. I can't tell if that's him or if that was in the game. I do worry about them outright attacking Dora, so we're gonna move Zabdis over here back. And considering he's got maximum traits, loyal, respectful, lax, and procrastinator, fingers crossed he can't take on any more negatives. We do need to level that one up again to get some better units. So with that in mind,
It's a good life.
let's actually don't do that. That garrison is not gonna hold if something attacks it. It really won't.
Commander,
Musca here needs to start recruiting forces, and we need to start doing it fast. The question is, what? What do we want to recruit and where? Pomeranian spearmen are good, and they're under 100 upkeep. We've already got a decent range. I think grabbing... Oh, we can only get 2. Yeah, we can only get 2. Alright, so... I think 2 pikemen are a good start. Anywhere I think that we can actually save money, we might need to start doing.
we hunger for battle.
So... Well... You never know. I am starting to think about disbanding this entire navy, though, as I don't think naval engagements are going to be the way to go for us. Now the extra 2, I mean they're so expensive, and we could really use that money elsewhere. So let's disband these units. We're going to keep the Roman ballista ships. Those could be really helpful in a siege. And sure, why not? We'll keep the raiding, the Palmyra skirmish raiders, as they're not too more expensive than their land counterparts. But with that, that is all, and I do expect Galatia to attack us in the coming turn. I'm nervous, guys, I'm nervous. War with Armenia and the Sassanids has got to be right around the corner. Once Armenia is done dealing with Lydia, I do believe they will come for us for sure, if they even wait that long. Okay, so they didn't attack us this turn. To deal with the rat infestation, there are several options. Rat catchers, cats, appease the gods. Rat catchers, I believe, are the most effective ways. Shoo. That's a lot of money. We do not have that. Try... I feel like these are not going to be good. Try cats. And yeah, we're no longer protected by civil war. Appius Lucius return. He's gained communicator plus 20 cultural conversion. That is actually really help. We're still losing somehow. Oh, it's not taking effect yet.
Ever in service to Rome.
Oh, maybe he. Wait a minute. He gained communicator. Cultural propaganda. Which should be. Yeah, right there. Plus 20 to cultural conversion. So that maybe it'll take next turn to start taking effect. We did build a new shrine up here, which is great, granting us more public order benefits. We made it another turn with peace. They are not going to get that recruitment off. They only have one. We might as well take it. They're suffering more attrition than we are. Alright, and I do want to keep an eye on that Armenian force. Yeah. Lydia is down to just... Oh, Lydia is coming back. They've cut the Armenian kingdom in half, so they are doing their best to put up a fight. They're delaying the inevitable, but the longer they hold, the better.
At your command.
So for this force,
Ready for battle.
let's go ahead and level up this army, or this barracks down here. 1,000 is expensive, but it will give us the access to far better troops, and we really need those troops, as I'm not sure how long we have. Meanwhile, let's look at our political stability. Yeah, we're at 0% risk right now. Trying to think, is there things we can do to promote internal stability? And I just can't think of any. I mean, going Empire, of course, grants us a benefit, but we're far away from that, so it's gonna be touch and go, especially once we lose that power benefit. All right, with the extra bit of cash, we can get a third pikeman there, and we might as well. Yeah, I think we need military more than anything. Diplomatically, things are going as well as predicted.
Welcome, friend.
Culture diversion, expansion, gifts given to the Sassanids. Rome is struggling.
Speak your
Gallic Rome is on the power rise. They are.
terms.
They're growing. Gallic Rome is definitely one of the victors in the civil war so far. They are taking a chunk of Illyria now from Rome. They hold Italy. The only places they are losing so far appear to be the north and in Iberia. So, interesting to see who's going to come out on top. We have a lot of our own issues, so let's end the turn and have that war with Galatia, as I believe it's about to hit us. And it appears the Sassanids might be suffering a attrition, a food shortage, which I'm all for. If their armies run out of food, that's less armies for us to fight. A large supply of food plus 4 squalor and salams, that is fine. It doesn't even actually impact us thanks to the Christian gathering. Egyptus has encouraged their population. We have built the grain farms, which is really good. Zapatus earned a plus 4 trait, which I think we already, yeah, he already has it. Wow, you can get plus 4 authority, that's on top of what you have? Jesus, Teller of Tales.
My wits
And he leveled up. Level him up. That's fine, and he gained Procrastinator due to sitting in friendly territory for
Ready
too
for
long.
orders.
Yeah, long stays in friendly provinces. You have a religious building there, so I'm thinking it'll go away. Except for notification of attrition. And we leveled him up. Okay, so nothing of note, nothing too terrifying. Nabatea is still holding on. Sestefan, are you suffering a food issue? You are. Well, what if we... Okay, their armies have pulled out. What if we deploy our spy and make you suffer even more food problems? Let's make sure they can't heal. How about that? Ooh, Armenia. That's not good. That doesn't look good at all. Armenia looks like they might actually come in and try to help Galatia. If they try to help Galatia, that would really turn the tide against us. That would be really... That'd be really devastating. Do we risk it? Do we risk Armenia joining the war against us and attacking, letting Galatia sally out? If that happens, we will be outnumbered to the point where I don't think we can win. That's terrifying. That truly is terrifying. For this region, I think we're gonna just get... I would actually enjoy extra replenishment would be nice. And the economy, but... We are getting... We don't have a sanitation building here, and we're not gonna get another... I don't think we're gonna get another expansion slot. So it's kind of impervious that we be careful with what we pick. And all of those give public order problems. We're not struggling on food, though. That's the one thing. We're not struggling on food. We'd get another 50 wealth and another... So it's totally worth getting the grain pits. Definitely worth getting those. But I don't think we need to do it now, actually. I think we can spend our money elsewhere. Maybe not on the military, but definitely somewhere. I do believe I'm going to risk it. I want Galatia to be the ones attacking us so that they have to meet us on the field of battle. Alexandria, our wealthiest province. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe we need to... Ooh. He still has the underworld issue, doesn't he? He does. Shoot. I was gonna say, I'm thinking we might need to move him or swap them so we have a general loyal to us. But that's not gonna happen anytime soon. Taking a look at our religious shrines, we don't really need... We're gonna have a benefit from farming in this region, and we will permanently thanks to the grain settlements. So 20% wealth from farming, which is great. Commerce is not gonna be that big. 16% from all sources, 20% wealth from... Okay, so I'm thinking the Shrine to Malachor is a good one, especially since we have 2. But just to confirm, let's take a look. Yeah, it seems we're suffering negatives from all other things except farming. So in Memphis, let's go ahead and get that shrine rolling to get an extra 5%. From farming and a little bit of extra sanitation. Tell you what, hold off. Let's hold off. Take a look over here. The spice market, we can grow 15 wealth from all sources. We're from food orientated here, so the delicatessen will grant 10% wealth from agriculture. Goes all the way up to 14 food, 150 wealth from local commerce, 30% agriculture. This will grant another 30 at the cost of public order and squalor. Less public order and squalor. More commerce at the cost of not receiving any food. Ooh, so instead, I think we should actually save it for the cattle trader. That seems like a really smart thing to do, is save it for the cattle trader instead of that. Meanwhile, over here, I do think... Let's take a gander. 5 public order, 8 sanitation, culture benefits. I don't know why anybody would get the latrines. It's the weakest of the links. I guess because there's no negatives. So we get 2 public order, 2 growth, and 8 sanitation. And then by the max, we get 40 wealth from agriculture, 12 sanitation. Yeah, I think that building is the best for that regard. Let's see, 1235 for a 5% boon and more culture. I do think for now we will stick with the shrine first. We'll go shrine first. How is Libya doing? I've kind of neglected Libya. It's doing okay except banditry. Banditry is really high over here. So perhaps we need to build a... I've never seen that. Auxiliary Libyan infantry. Cool. Perhaps we need to build a bandit reducing building over here. Is it the top of our concerns? No, nobody's not. Let's end the turn and have a battle, I think. Last episode was full of peace and stability, so I guess this episode we're gonna fight.
These insolent fools.
No. Alright, they are taking us on, and thankfully Armenia looks like they've moved. It is now a pretty neck and neck fight. Let's see if our luck continues to hold out, everybody.
Trying to put his lazy troops in order. How does one mount an attack when one is a yellow-bellied craven? We are about to see. Be prepared.
Alrighty, a very quick speech that's gonna call out the general of the enemy army as they've come to sally out and take us down. But welcome everybody to the battle. If you see this, that means the replay worked. Rome 2 is not as notorious. Actually, you know, every Total War I think is notorious for having replay bugs. But so far Rome 2's been okay. But man, I can't get over how good the mod looks. Like the unit reskin. Sexy.
Shouldn't we have seen him, generals? Don't worry about generals. They don't worry about you.
Alright, well, that's a little rough. We are going for a decently standard formation. Legionaries up front, cohorts on the flanks, along with the pikes and our peltis. Trying to keep the pikes safe. I don't want them to be the ones to take on the javelin throws. I want our peltis to receive that, as it's a lot more critical that the pike line doesn't get interrupted. Meanwhile, we are flanking on this left side here with our Lanciari, our camel auxiliary camel spearmen. Or my bad, they're just camel spearmen, my bad. And Zenobia herself on this side with her deadly, deadly scythe chariots. Looking terrifying. No wonder they get so many casualties when, or the enemy gets so many casualties when we inflict damage with them. They're extremely, extremely vulnerable to attack, or like ranged units, like bogged down, like very, very vulnerable. But if you can get them to just run through infantry, dear God, they will rack up kills like you would not believe. Without further ado, they're not waiting for their reinforcing garrison. They are just on their way. So there's no need to wait. Their slingers do outrange us, but that's fine. Our Palmyra legionaries have plenty of armor to where we can soak up that damage without really losing anything. And now we're going to start skirmishing their armored archers. We'll take a little more to kill them than it will us, and they're going to start inflicting a bit more casualties. But we should hold. I'm not putting our men in defensive testudo. In fact, I wish they had shield wall instead. But we are. That way we can have them spread out and brace. But let the war begin. They are going to get some nasty javelin throws out on us. That's one negative against them. Everyone's braced. Prep yourselves for battle, everyone. And here they come, clashing against our shield wall. The Roman levies against the Palmyran legionnaires. Meanwhile, I'm sure plenty of you can see our cav are going to start running amok in the enemy rear line as they've left a huge opening, targeting their poor skirmishers with our shock cav, and along with our camel spearmen decimating what's left of those armored archers. We are engaged, though, along the whole front line. And very quick to note, this unit in particular, and this one, really suffering the brunt of the engagement. Thankfully, our left flank is working as intended. The Peltis took a lot of the damage, and now they're clashed against the pikes, and they will do perfectly fine. Their skirmishers have been dealt with for the most part, and it's time for Zenobia to get in on the action, as I'm very worried about this unit breaking. So we're going to risk our general to go in here and do some lovely, swift killing. Immediately, it is insane. Like I said, they are extremely easy to lose. But if you can get your chariots to just plow through there, like this basically. I'm just issuing movement commands, and we are devastating their lines. Absolutely smashed them. Zenobia getting... How many kills did you get, Zenobia? 235 kills and counting on that one slash. Meanwhile, our cav has broken free, and we are going in to mop up what remains of that army. Our legionaries are taking a good beating, though, dealing with the Roman levies of all. Yeah. Of all units, they are dealing with them, and we are losing a good bit of troops. So I think in future conflict, it's going to be imperative for us to continue doing what we're doing in this battle, where we must have a staunch spear line, but we really need to have a strong cavalry contingent and a flanking unit to make sure our spearmen are compensated by the hammer and anvil tactic. Because on a 1v1, the swordsmen are going to beat the spears, as we've seen evidently in this battle. Thankfully, we have secured most our flanks. Our pikemen and our extra units are able to buff the remaining fighters here. It's now looking a lot more in our favor. And our cav will flank around now that they've reformed, and we'll deal with what remains of the Galatian forces here. Their morale's low enough to where they're pretty beaten back at this rate. And now, with a lovely rear charge, that morale's going to break even quicker. But with that, a mass rout ensues, and Galatia has once again fallen into our hands. A bit of a rough battle, especially considering the amount of damage our legionaries took against Roman levies. But it is what it is. Let us go ahead and release the captives to gain back the money, and that region is ours. Oh, never mind. It's... Oh, no. Now it is ours. So we could subjugate them, but they're gonna hate us. So unfortunately, that is not an option. So we're gonna have to just occupy, I guess. Man, that sucks. I don't think subjugating them is a smart thing to do. But we could try. I feel like this is a horrible idea, though. I really do. I really feel like this is a bad idea. But is it any better than occupying? Or, like, is it any worse than occupying? I don't know. Let's try to subjugate them.
On the move.
Is that really gonna help? Okay, so it cancels out the cultural aversion.
You are welcome.
Okay,
but
we can trade.
That welcome can become a farewell if you waste Roman time.
They're at war with Roman Lydia.
We can settle on terms,
They're
and I can return to the Senate
confident
sure that we have done good work today.
And reliable.
For the Senate's part, welcome.
Perhaps we've made a friend? Maybe? I doubt it. I really do doubt it in the long run, but... perhaps we've made a friend in the north.
How can I be of assistance?
I don't know for how long. Oh, what do the Sassanids have an army up here? Oh boy, oh wow, the leader of the Sassanid kingdom or empire is up here. Okay, so they mean business. They're trying to kick Rome out for good. All right, duly noted. Our veteran leveled up. Let's get melee attack, melee defense, or we could get him something else. Heavy infantry, campaign movement, and we don't want the morale debuff though. That under siege would be nice. Gordon province attacking garrison. Let's grab the siege expert for him. I'm assuming there's nothing good to levy. No, there's not. Okay. We can fall back to Tarsus, and we will, just to get that extra bit of replenishment. Well... yeah. Fall back to Tarsus. I have a good bit in the bank. African rebels have taken Aduman. The Nabateans have a army there, though. Have they lost? They've lost Ashtabal, though. They are back to their home province. Are they still suffering food? They are. They are indeed. Good. The longer we can keep this food crisis going, the better. And they're not slowing down on upgrading their cities, so I'm okay with this.
Ready, willing, and able.
Appius leveled up here. Grant that extra tax. Why not? Are you done building yet? One more turn. Drill master. Perfectly fine with me. Alright. So the north, I would hesitate to say is subdued, but it is definitely looking better with Galatia on our side, and they do seem to not mind it. They don't seem to mind being on our side too much, so I am curious. Their melee defense is so high, and their attack versus a Roman levy unit of 38. We should be beating them. There's no way the javelins are doing that much damage on the initial impact to get our units that low. But who knows? I could be wrong. Their upkeep is a 85. Is that cheaper than our pikemen? It's a lot cheaper than our pikemen. Curious indeed. Curious indeed. What is their morale though? 55 compared to our 60. That is not much more. We did get Palmyra gods, which gained us a lot of boon to the multiple edicts, because we were going... I don't actually know what we were going with. I think we were just going for that because it helped with Romanization. Is there anything here that we need? Definitely don't need that. We are gonna slack on the Navy for a while. Minus 10% recruitment cost is not the biggest boon. And I see, I'm so tempted to try and go for that. That would help a lot, but it's such a long tribute of it's such a long commitment. 5 tax rate would not be bad. Movement range for all army. That could be nice, actually. Let's try and go for it and get that extra movement range. Well, is there anything here that we need? I like our cav contingent. The camels did okay. The spears did great. Really, the only thing that lacked in that engagement was our spear line, which is terrifying because it's the bulk of our army. Makes me wonder, do we need to get the auxiliary spearmen? Double check our political, our political situation. We're okay for now. We have the money. Educating +2 to the random. What are your 353 already? I'm thinking all this costs money to get married, yeah. Now you guys will be a little easier to control. +20 gravitas. See, it makes me not want to do anything with these guys, despite the Send Administrate Organized Games and Send Diplomat. All of those are really good things to do, especially the Diplomat. We could really improve relations with a lot of people if we started using them, but I feel like it's a little too risky. We're getting +20 tax from that now. 9 public order. We'll keep the tax, I think. Did you lose that trait yet? No, you've not. Fingers crossed you do, buddy. Fingers crossed. Everything's going swell over here. There's a 1% bandit threat, that's fine. Latin culture is remaining dominant. Perfect. And everywhere else is just going about their business as normal. Let us, I think, they're silver ranked.
Commander?
Let's continue building up our 2nd Legion with the bit of money we have. Camel spears, perfect. 3 pikes, pretty good. We could get cheaper, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and grab some proper spearmen. 104, 157. Let's grab 414, 612. Let's grab
Are you ready to serve Rome?
the standard spears, and then the next turn we'll get rid of the vigiles. That leaves us with 900 in the bank. With 900, we could send her on a diplomatic mission. It's going to do -2 loyalty for the parties for 4 turns. That's going to be gone next turn. So that's pretty important that we don't need to do that. Shoot. Leveling them up grants +2 political loyalty. He is only 28, and I believe Marcus Juvenus is the faction leader. He is. So he's going to be around for a while. So he's not going to get any benefits from that land, but he is going to get that tax rate. And it would grant us some loyalty benefits. Level him up. Give him a bit more political power. At the cost of it's going to increase their loyalty to us. We need to at least maintain one family loyal to us if we are to survive the coming horrors of the wars to come. I've yet to see if the Galatian threat is going to be worth it. I really have. Alright, cats. Obtain and have already been turned loose into the city. +4 sanitation. Alrighty, good. Trustworthy. Even God's Blush. Trustworthy. What is that one? Even God's Blush. What is he doing? -6 gravitas and -8 public order breaking. That's fine. He's not going to be generating gravitas. That's perfect. That's the person we want to continue leveling up to grant future boons to authority. Okay, so they're struggling on food. They really are. -8. The Sassanid Empire is struggling, and the Nabateans have retaken Adamant. I would love to push the threat. I would love to push them had we not be surrounded by their vassals. The Sassanids are not alone, and we have to remember that. Armenia is to the north, and they're rather devious, and they have secured Asia Minor. The Sassanids supporting them have pushed Lydia out properly all the way to Rhodos. Rhodos. That was horrible. I do apologize. Latin rebels are starting up to spring up in the region, though. So let's go take a gander. See if they're going to finish Lydia off, or are they going to leave them to sit on that island and recruit new forces. With that, Zenobia, where do you need to go? I really feel like Zenobia needs... Let's Auxiliary Eastern Pikemen grant us a 85 upkeep versus a standard pike unit in her army, 108. It would be a lot cheaper. It would be a lot cheaper to have these Eastern pikes. I think it's worth the upkeep and the swap. Oh, I say that. It's only like 100 or 20 potentially. So perhaps not. Perhaps not. And meanwhile over here, political influence per turn for your political party. 4 wealth, less important over here. 12 growth. I'm thinking 8 public order, 12 sanitation, 8 sanitation, 8 growth, 5 public order. But we get a bit more money. And we're not making very much from farming in Antioch. We could push to level up our grain pits over here. Oh, actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, never mind. This army can level up. So let's start doing so. Let's go with a staunch spear line. 5 spears will really bolster the garrison in case of emergency. And I'm telling you what, I'm thinking let's get rid of these armored swordsmen. We don't need them in this area anymore. Let's actually get rid of the javs as well, I think. Well, you know what, never mind. They're acting as a sizable little garrison, so they can keep that. They can keep the javelins. And with that, that's basically all our money gone. We are done with that. We are at 10% risk, and the Latin families are the ones ready to rebel. We are keeping the Greeks under control, and the Latin ones aren't as bad as I expected. The Imperium level is the only issue. It's going to continue to grow against us, where we will lose. We are going to lose that loyalty, and it's only at Imperium level 5 we lose the loyalty problem. We don't get any buffs either as we move up. Alright, so they're at a negative. We need to get it down below -10, I think. There's a 10% chance. But that 10% chance easily could sway next turn. Like, they could. That would be our luck. So let's see if we can do anything with that. We could secure his promotion, granting him more gravitas, another 2 loyalty. Let's secure promotion. That is going to lower it down to 17, which doesn't make sense. That's 14. It was 15. Interesting. Either way, that is fine. I'm okay with that. And let's get another intern in there and hope for the best. I'm really still very scared. I'm real scared now that the assassins... Okay, they dealt with the rebels. Horsemanship or cavalry recruitment? Rally the horsemen. We gain the recruitment reduction. Household, Queen Zenobia. Battlefield runner, and a shrine has been built down here, granting us the wealth from farming. Very nice. Perfect. Alright, with that, let's continue here and grab the mercenary recruitment, as I think it'll be nice to have them in a pinch. I'm really glad that public order is at least not an issue anymore. Like, public order is stabilized across the realm. Thanks to buildings, the characters. It's good. Public order is okay. Alright, let's grab you. I'd actually like to... Peltis versus skirmishers. Melee attack of 13, melee attack of 30. Their melee defense is a lot higher. Their armor is a lot higher. What is the slinger range? 150. I thought it said 80. I was like, whoa. Let's just spam the skirmishers. 5 spearmen is pretty good. Alright, politically speaking, are you going to remain at -9? I hope so. 7% risk is not too bad. If we improve you, again, that's going to be +3 gravitas, 9 tax, +6 loyalty. That shoots up a good bit. They're now at -10, and that should drop it, yes, to 0%. Now, is that a permanent lingering effect for as long as that character is alive? I can't remember. But it does at least save us from initial problems. That army is terrifying. This force has 5 spears, 4 vigiles. The vigiles would act as a good little buffer if we needed it. Let's grab some Peltis. The thing is, if you get javelins... Am I being hypocritical with the jabs? Do we really need Peltis for their extra melee defense and armor? Or should we stick with just really low tier jav units and call it a day? Every unit gets jabs, that's the one thing. Let's see, they have ammunition of 7. What is our... Can we see our melee's ammunition actually, now that I think about it? I don't think you can, but everyone gets a javelin. I think they get 2 to 3. So do we really want to dedicate more forces to that? I do think I want to dedicate more forces to getting us some Lanciari. Why not? Yeah, they're super cheap. The Vigiles are acting as a really good buffer just in case. It's still, you know, they're still full stacks, so it is important. If we dismantle the Christian community, we will lose the sanitation benefit that we're getting. And it would be a while before we could build a new, like, one that would equal as much. So, -4 public order for non-Christian temples, -3 food, plus... Okay, so it's not really even a negative at this rate. Like, religious differences is at a -1. So it is not a big deal. Alright. So our political position is stable. Galatia has been dealt with for now. It's yet to be seen if they will be around for very long. But for now, at least, they're our friend. And... Alright, I was going to wait before I said it. I was going to wait for the intern. War with Assassinates has still been delayed. But it is definitely... So Hatra is still free. I think what we need to do is send our spies to watch against Armenia, as they do. What are you doing? What are you doing? The Sassanids are on our border. So if we were to go to war with them, Nabatea still holds the south. So they could only attack us. Well, they could. I mean, they could easily try to hit Petra, but Petra does have. We do have an army down there. I don't think there's a risk of sea attack. Edessa would be my #1 concern. We do have a 10-stack garrison with a general
Skills at your
and a spy at Hatra. If we were to say attack, what is the quickest route? Okay, straight through the desert.
How can I be of assistance?
That is more than likely the route that they will take. But we could easily spy on... Securing Hatra could be beneficial. Sorry, everybody. When he decided that he is done messing around. I'll tell you what. This was the end of, or this is the beginning of a turn, so this is where the auto-save legendary campaign is at, and this is where I'm going to call today's episode. I do believe there is, I think, conflict with the Sassanids will take place in the next episode, be it them declaring war on us, or us waging war on them, a preemptive war. If they're still suffering food shortages in their capital, that could lead us to an easy fight of taking Mesopotamia. Now, granted, it's a huge faction. The Sassanids are huge. They go all the way out to Suzia, and their client states go even further. So fighting them on... It doesn't sound pleasant, I will say that. With Kazakhstan, Armenia, Media, Bactria, and Mardis, all of them and their Sassanid, their satraps have taken the north. They're no longer at war with the Dahe because they are dead. So that's not good. But the longer we wait, potentially the longer, or the more influential they will grow. So, we need to keep that in mind. Gallic Rome is starting to struggle just a little bit. But, I mean, so is Rome. Like, it's the Rome is the least of our concerns at this rate. Yeah. Rome is the least of our concerns. As long as they don't start pushing our western borders in Libya, we're okay. The Sassanids are going to be the big threat of this campaign. So, without further ado, we have made it through another episode with all achievements intact on Legendary with a victory under our belt. Galatia has been subjugated, and for now, they appear to be a loyal and willing vassal. So perhaps that was a smart move. The Sassanids, though, do appear to be poised to attack us. And, as always, I have been your host, Salty, and my co-host, Swinton. If you enjoyed this episode, like and subscribe as always. Without further ado, though, I will catch you all in the next one. Peace out, everyone.